So, welcome, everybody. Welcome, Aris. How are you? Just landed?
Doing well. I did just land from New York City, so a little jet lagged, but excited to be here.
Perfect. We're very, very honored to have you here. So I'm going to give a quick bio and a few stuff. He's an entrepreneur, he's a creator, he's a builder. That's why he's with us here tonight. He's best known for creating the European Kid persona viral character that has generated over 3 billion views online and millions of followers across TikTok and Instagram. Born and raised in Belgium, Greek roots. He studied in Boston and then moved to New York, where he currently lives there. And he's building Storytime for Creator, an influencer marketing software platform. And we're going to talk all about that today. Without further ado, I'm going to go with the first question. So, what was the first spark of the European Kid persona, Louis?
Yeah, so, I mean, the European Kid, which you guys probably, I'm assuming, yeah, you know me for that, doing this like obnoxious French character that maybe pops up on your FYP. It all started in college, really, for me, just curious being on social media and posting random videos, and happened to post a video that was kind of just mocking a friend that I had. And yeah, that was the first spark. It was just like a random, almost by accident, video.
And so it started in college. What started as a joke then became a very big thing, a viral thing. When was the moment you realized that this is not just a simple joke anymore and it has potential to scale?
Yes, I mean, obviously, yeah, so I posted that video and then I instantly realized like, wow, like it created like this huge buzz and ironically created, I didn't realize, but it was like this viral formula for like, it's the idea of it's controversial, it's, you know, it's mocking how the rich act and it became a meme of its own, right? And over time I would post more and started incorporating my papa character, which really made like a huge, I think more viral than most. My videos like were very much influenced by the papa character. And then yeah, honestly, I remember when I started, I was doing summer classes in Boston, and I kind of left, and I was in Paros for like 3 months with my family, and I was always posting content, and I didn't realize until I went back to the US, and I was accumulating like tens of millions of views, maybe like 100 million views in that summer. People started coming up to me. I was like, wow, like these numbers are real. People are seeing this content. Like so I would say that also.
Yeah, not just digital. So I do want us to talk about content and how you approach it and a little bit behind the scenes. It's scripted, obviously, right? It feels so real. How do you craft those scenes that they do blur reality just enough to make us wonder, is this real? Is this guy really yelling at a restaurant owner being spoiled AF? So yeah.
Yeah, I always tell people when I meet them, I'm not that much an asshole in real life. It's a character. It's a character. And obviously, yeah, it's, to be real with you, like it's very simple. I try to, my videos are all about just like, I just turn on the persona, I hand my phone to someone, I'm like, let's do a skit. And it's like very much in the moment. And all my most viral videos have always taken me a couple of minutes to create. That's the beauty of social media. Like we have the power of, from our phones, I filmed this one video where I'm buying this Parmesan cheese. In 2 minutes, I filmed it, and I told the guy, hey, let's make a funny video. I'm going to pretend to be buying this huge Parmesan cheese. You're going to deny me. Accumulated over 150 million views. And just with the power of an iPhone, like no high production, like, which is also a big change from what it used to be like, right?
Yeah, for creators and big budget productions, just
an iPhone.
Yeah, take my phone and film me yelling at somebody. Right. I do want us to move to the founder part, from creator to founder. I do want us to talk about Storytime. I'm going to start very simple. What is Storytime all about? Your app, and I want to know what problem or specific idea moment sparked the very idea of Storytime.
Yeah, so I mean, as a creator, and again, starting off as a creator, like it was really just curiosity. I was just I was very fascinated by the influencer market, and so after college, I actually went and worked for an influencer marketing software company, where I got more experience in that space, and then I realized there's a huge gap in the market of just the ability to connect creators to businesses. It's like very inefficient, and I just saw it as a creator myself. So I really built Storytime. I was like, hey, I see this potential of this huge marketplace of creators. The way that like having an influence is almost like it's a new type of currency. So I was like, how do we use this currency every single day for very simple things? Like we're grabbing a cup of coffee. We could pay technically with posting content about that coffee. How do we create that exchange in a way because right now it's like a lot of influencers are sending messages to brands. There's a lot of back and forth. So I was like, I want to create a very simple marketplace that allows me to instantly walk into like a Joe and the Juice, for instance, and get a sandwich and in exchange for posting a story. That was the vision, the issue I wanted to solve.
Yeah. And marketplace, like you talked about this marketplace you designed basically that has two ends, the influencers and the businesses. And let me just say the micro-influencers that is focused on and the local businesses. How do you get both ends, like both creators and businesses, have trust in your platform early on?
Yeah, I mean, I think any marketplace always struggles with having the right amount of both, right? But yeah, so right now I have around like 400 different businesses in New York City. And it's mostly fast casual and like sit-down restaurants, and we're pushing more we're doing all kinds of brick and mortar stores. Like the goal for me, the way that I see it is that it's like class pass for creators. That's how I kind of sell Storytime. The reason for nano and micro specifically is because I'm also creating a new type of category, which is redefining who's a creator. Like one of the things that I'm currently betting on in the future is that creators, yes, like I have millions of followers. I charge crazy prices to like companies to work with, but like the reality is that like if you can activate hundreds of small creators, people that love a product every day and that are actually posting it organically, it's more effective than spending thousands of dollars on a big creator. So that's also very much my bet. It's like these are micro giftings of all these different kind of gifts.
Yeah, and shifting the paradigm, because you have flipped the typical influencer model by focusing on the micro creators, connecting them with local businesses. And I want us to talk about this a little bit more. Why are micro influencers specifically more powerful fit for the very local businesses you're talking about in Storytime than big creators?
I mean, it's simple. Like the way that I like to describe also when I'm pitching Storytime to businesses, that it's about rewarding community that wants to talk about you, right? So like if I love going to, Oakberry, like I love Oakberry. I love what it stands for. I love the brand. I'm willing to, if imagine you have like 3,000 followers, right? And Oakberry just opened in Athens and they're looking to make a push. The reality is it makes so much sense for even someone like you, like to get a free Oakberry. You post a story, you have 500 very hyper local impressions in Athens that are gonna be so much more powerful. So the idea is like that influence, we all have an influence in this room. And it's like, how do you kind of, like whether it's $10, $15, $20 off, like whatever you're kind of purchasing every day to post about it, that's the simplicity of it.
Very much redefining it and new currency, I would say. So you've talked to lots of businesses in New York City, right? Like you've been around for this. What's been, I mean, the most surprising learning, like being around 200 New York City small businesses about social media discovery and like creators economy right now?
I think everyone's struggling. Like everyone's baffled by like how does it work? People are like, like businesses are like, oh, we have to consider influencers. What does that mean? Influencers are a pain. Like that's the reality. They're so entitled. Like a lot of influencers are very entitled. Like they reach a certain number of followers, they're like, I need to be getting paid $20,000 for a post, and if I'm posting a story, this and that. So the importance of creating software that is actually looking at data and analyzing creators and understanding the reach and impressions is so crucial, because we have all these rogue influencers who are charging crazy prices, and yeah, everyone is struggling. And what's so crazy to me to this day, like, I mean, I started the European Kid 3 years ago, and like when I started, I wouldn't have never thought that like companies would all be forced to start to consider influencer marketing. Like you look at BlackRock, they have a TikTok. Like who would have thought BlackRock would ever care about creating a TikTok 4 years ago? It would sound ludicrous. Like BlackRock, why the hell? But so everyone's struggling, and this is why it's so important to create like. And for me, the thing is like, we don't care about your followers. We care about hyperlocal. We're connecting you to local businesses. They care about local reach. They can't afford expensive creators. That's why it's so important to understand the data, and that's really kind of what the platform is all about.
Yeah, lovely. Are you scaling to multiple cities? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal. Okay, question. How do you balance, so you have a local authenticity, you have local businesses, small businesses. How do you balance this authenticity while growing, at the very same time you're growing? And are there any cities that you're particularly, excited expanding into? Why would that be? Maybe Athens?
I think every city, like that's the beauty of it. Like this model that I'm doing right now it's very scalable. It's almost like I almost see it like, for me, I'm pitching it now as like when I get into a room with like investors, because obviously I'm speaking with a lot of investors and growing my team. It's like a Facebook marketplace in the sense that like I want any business owner to be able to like, whether it's a coffee, it's a workout class, it's eventually retail products, CPG product, they can put it on our marketplace and it instantly gets pushed out to like hyper local creators that are the most relevant people to talk about and post about the product. So it's really every city. In terms of expansion, we're looking at Miami next, then the DC area, Boston, because I think as a student it makes so much sense. And then so very much college towns and eventually London.
Where the hubs are, the influencer hubs are.
There's influencer hubs everywhere. I was in Kuala Lumpur like last year, and I was like, wow, like Storytime would work really well here. Like people love going to the mall and going to buy some aesthetic little croissant, like, and taking photos of it. I was like, the model works very much in every city.
Yeah, you get a croissant for free over there. Good. Okay, let's do vision, lessons learned throughout the way till now. So I gather from our chat today that your work sits at the very center of, I think 3 things: scale, authenticity, obviously, and community, the community you're building. What's your vision for how businesses should engage audiences in the future? How do you hope the creator economy will evolve in the future, in the next few years, let's say? And how does Storytime helps redefine all that?
What was the first one again?
Yeah. So what's your vision of how businesses should engage audiences in the future? The way you do it,
Engage
obviously.
creators and
Yeah.
and tackle that. I mean, yeah, I think just understanding that, like, obviously, yeah, everyone has a different approach for influencer marketing, and like that's part of like for instance, like a lot of the coffee shops that we work with, like, we're not telling them like, oh, you need to be spending thousands of or like hundreds of thousands of dollars on influencer marketing, as opposed to like, you have the Hugo Boss that are getting the biggest creators. So understanding, like, I guess, not trying to I think just creating simple budgeting, like that's the most important thing. And then the way that I see the creator economy evolving, it's just going to become, I mean, I think it's already, like it's going to just become more important. A lot of people are like, oh, how is AI going to influence creators? I think it's going to just be more important because people kind of connect with authenticity and other people. Like it's simple. And the idea of like spending a lot of money on high productions is unnecessary. Like, you know, TV ads and commercials, like it's going to be more just, they're going to be spending, you know, budgets for creators to make ads at home, like that are just as effective, if not more. So it's, and also again, I mentioned nano and micro. It's just going to get pushed to more nano and micro. Everyone is trying to become a creator, which makes sense. To a certain extent, can everyone be a creator? Like, I don't think everyone can be, but like, I think everyone is, it's becoming more trendy. But yeah, a lot of people are gonna, the money that's being spent on the top of the creators is gonna just, it's gonna trickle down to more nano micro. And that's like my biggest bet.
Okay, and the very essence of Storytime. Okay, so you may have heard this summit is built by builders. That's why we preach around here. What's the one lesson you've learned from building both, you know, you've built a character, a viral character, and a startup that you think every builder here should take home and others builders around?
Another what, sorry, builder?
Another builder here should take home like an advice.
Oh, take it like advice?
Being a creator and a builder.
I think it's,
you remember the question I sent you?
Like what I always tell when other creators come up to me is like, I tell them it's honestly, it's consistency. Like you don't need to, and this is also what I see with businesses. Like a lot of businesses will go be like, okay, we need to consider influencer marketing. We're going to spend hours on this one campaign, and then it flops, and they've spent, you know, $30,000 on this one video that had like 1,000 views. And I always tell them like, guys, content it's a numbers game. Like, you know, like it's not about like investing so many hours into one piece of content. Like I said in the beginning, I've created content that has had hundreds of millions of views that I did in a couple of minutes. So it's the reality is that it's a consistency and it's a numbers game. That's how it functions. And yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Final question. We're out of time, running out of time. It's super simple. Looking ahead, what's next? I do want to know what's next. I do want to know what you're working, what's in the works, what's cooking.
Yeah, I mean, expansion.
For Louis or for Storytime, sorry.
For Louis and Storytime?
Yeah.
For Louis, I mean, Louis is dying out. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah?
Louis is still there. Louis is still there. No, I always enjoyed, like, for me, I also, like, one of the most important things with content creation is that it's always fun. It never turns into something where it's like, the moment also you kind of force yourself to create content or to try to keep up with a certain momentum, it becomes monotonous and it's hard to obviously persevere, right? So in the 3 years that I've been doing it, you always have ups and downs in virality. So I actually spend very little time doing content, and that's how I like to do it. Because again, like I like to perceive it as something that it's like I do for fun. It's like it's a really nice way to break up my day. If I'm doing a lot of meetings, I'm like, all right, let's do a skit. You know, I'm with an investor. I'm like, let's do a skit while we're in this meeting. So that's been always really something I appreciate. And then I spend probably 90% of my time on Storytime, very active on it, and actively thinking about how to scale, build a team, take it just getting ready to go into Miami in January. And yeah.
Well, good luck with everything. Thank you so very much for being here tonight.
My pleasure. Any questions, or do we take any questions?
You want to do questions? I mean, we can do one or two questions. Do we have a mic?
Professor say, my mother say, my friends say, the The investor that I'm with and that I'm possibly raising venture capital from will say, if I tell him, let's do a skit, how do you bypass this caring about what others say?
I was like, let me get my dad in it, you know? Like, I don't know, I could care less, honestly. And the irony is that all my biggest investors came from my social media. So like, it opened up so many doors. Obviously, like, there is a fine line, like, where people that know me, they recognize that. It's funny to me to think that, like, there's more people that know me for Louis than who I truly am as Ari. But obviously, like, yeah, it's never really, in the beginning, it's always, okay, doing content is a little cringe. I used to think TikTok was like for kids doing dances. And then I got over and I realized it's such an incredible way to just, my network, everyone, like one of my top investors is the founder of Oakberry. And I only met him because I was doing a campaign as a creator for Oakberry. And so I would say it's just open doors.
I also think that, but not being afraid to be cringe is the one thing that gets you going. Any more questions from the audience? Maybe my best friend wants to say the day. Ah, there you go. Wait. More questions. We have a mic? We have like 3 minutes, so, seize them.
Okay, that's actually a good question. If you had a startup and you had to make a story, what would that story be about?
If I had a startup?
And you had to make a story that would go viral, what would the secret ingredients of that be?
Ask me more specifically what you mean.
Like, let's say you make a post, let's say you make a reel. Do you try to target the specific focus of the audience you're targeting as a startup, or do you try to go general and then try to get a general branding for the startup that will go towards a specific niche market?
Is it more of the question of like, what do I think about virality?
Exactly, yeah.
I would say do it as controversial as possible. Like, the reality is, like, controversy is the best way to go viral because it's all about engaging a community to comment and share your post. So if you can pick a topic that, like, there is a lot of controversy behind, trying to think of one. For instance, like, there was a company that, like, sells photos of, like, sells people photos to post of, like, being on private jets and yachts and faking that they're on these yachts, and they can buy it and repurpose it on their Instagram. Super cringe, right? But, like, very controversial topic, so it's prone to getting a lot of like, there's gonna be a lot of thoughts about it, it's all about creating that engagement. It's all about, like, having people stop, be like, oh, I disagree with this. And they engage, and it pushes the algorithm.
Thank you.
These are the make your ex jealous companies.
Make your ex jealous
companies that sell those.
That'd be a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good topic. Any other questions?
More questions, go.
Any funny stories behind the scenes you'd like to share with us?
So many. I mean, I think the one that I always tell people is, one of my most viral videos is outside this club in New York City where I'm getting rejected by a bouncer. And, again, did that video, one take, boom, like, just did it. And in the video, I blurted, like, do you know you're messing with the richest family in Europe? And that line started, like, everyone started commenting, like, oh, is this the son of Bernard Arnault? Like, the richest person in Europe, the LVMH founder. And it trended so much that, like, when you looked up his name on Google, my video was one of the first videos that came up. Like, imagine that. Like, at the time, I was like 23, like, 23-year-old made a video that, like, is trending with one of the rich people in the world. Like, it's kind of ridiculous how you can, like, hack, like, virality hacks, like, searches. So, yeah, I would say that's a funny story. And then his son commented, like, this is not me. This is not me. This is hilarious, not me. They tweeted it. Because it was in the French news, it's everywhere.
Right. Thank you. So that's that for today and for tonight. Thank you all again. Thank you so much, Daddy.
My pleasure.
Truly, truly.